Yo guys, um, hey everybody, I'm super excited today. In fact, I haven't been excited like right now as since like actually 10 years. When I was 21 and went to Colombia without knowing any real Spanish. I went there for 10 months. That was the last time when I was that excited. So why? Tomorrow night I'm going off for a few weeks. Just wanted to let you know that I won't be able to get back to you because I will be traveling in Papua. So Papua, for those of you who don't know, it's the western part. It's west of Papua New Guinea, close to Australia and the Solomon Islands and stuff like that. So I'm going for almost 4 week adventure kind of trip. I will be in the jungle for 10 days, sleeping in a hammock between trees, then hiking to a tribal village. And afterwards, once we survive that, we'll be cruising with a small boat to like lonely islands and then sleep at the beach because there's like nobody there except for like, I don't know, tigers. And afterwards I'm gonna go diving for the first time of my life. Apparently the zone, it's called Raja Ampat. And by the way, I can just make a quick link with the route below, so I think it's quite interesting. Afterwards, I'm going to be diving in Raja Ampat. Supposedly, the biodiversity of an area, which has the same size of a football field, is as big as the entire of Panama. So it's quite crazy. So there will be like, I think they're called whale sharks and mantas. So let's see how it goes. Afterwards, if we still have time, we will hike up an active volcano. But let's see how it goes. So in the back, you see everything that I'm gonna take. It's a lot of stuff. It looks like a lot of stuff. So in case you're interested, because I found it super curious, I'm gonna be in one of the highest density malaria areas in the world. And I mean, it's not just malaria, it's anything, viruses, bacteria, small worms that could bite my toes and inject me with parasites. And it's quite curious actually, like there's some which like actually they travel up the bloodstream, and apparently some of them are laying eggs into the blood, so the eggs get distributed in the body, and then once the worms come out, like you notice like kind of pimples anywhere in the body, and it's actually super dangerous. So if I have that symptom, I need to go to the hospital as soon as possible. As soon as possible means probably like 4 days of hiking or so, because they potentially can come up to the eyes, and yeah, then you could lose the eyesight, for example. But anyways, because of that, I got myself those pair of adventure socks. They are impregnated and they're also quite thick. So one thing, I won't get too bleedy feet. And another thing is, if like some insect tries to bite me into my feet, it will just not survive that, because something inside which is called permethrin, and it's quite toxic for insects. Besides that, I got some medicine. So this is one bag with like basic stuff for any case, because I have to be super equipped. I'm gonna be too remote to be able to rely on a doctor or a hospital. So that's the other bag, and that's a first aid kit. This is Melaroni, which I'm gonna take as a prevention against malaria, because the risk is so high. I'm actually gonna swallow 3 packets of that, and they have quite a lot of side effects, but there's not really a way out there actually. I booked and arranged the trip before I really thought about all the possible dangers, but a couple of years ago I made a decision, and actually, if you're asking right now, okay, why am I showing you all this stuff? Because yoga and spirituality is not about becoming like this peaceful being which is living in a cave, but it's about something else, not necessarily about just or actually not at all about just being a peaceful being. It's about a vibrant and explosive life. And at some point I should tell you the story of a very special encounter with a monk I had after 10 days of silence in India. But anyway, that's a different story. But that basically led me to all this craziness here. So those are my hiking boots. Those are my random running shoes. I'm gonna also use them just to travel in the airport. They're waterproof and also will protect me from some insects. That's my sleeping bag. So it's quite huge. But in the jungle it will be quite cold at night, especially in the hammock, when we're exposed to, I don't know, winds and rain and stuff like that. So, what else have we got? That's my snorkeling kit for when I reach the sea at some point. That is a micro towel because I don't know. Actually, sorry, that's my rain pants along with this Gore-Tex jacket because we expect also some heavy rainfall at times. What else have we got? This is a rain cover for my backpack. So by the way, this will be the backpack I'm carrying. So it's quite funny if you look at the backpack. I mean, it's a bit big on the top. But if you look at the backpack, and that's my sleeping bag, and that's my shoes, and that's my medicine, and yeah, so I can basically take one more shirt because then I have no more space. So actually, those are all the things I'm wearing. Yeah, so that's all I got. So I will be relying on washing the clothing frequently, but I just can't take anything else anymore. And that's about it. Back there you see the stuff I'm gonna take to the airport, so I'm even gonna drive to the airport in my jogging pants because the flight takes 30 hours. I'm gonna be traveling for 30 hours, then arrive in Papua at 11 o'clock, and I'm gonna leave at 11 at night, arrive at 11 the morning of like 2 days after, and then relax for the day, and the next morning we're gonna start the tour, and from then on I'm gonna be completely off the grid. Actually, even like where we're landing at this airport, I'm gonna be off the grid because there's like nothing there. We got a guide, of course, because otherwise we wouldn't survive. It's not like a touristy route. We have to go straight through the jungle, climb up like small rocks and see how we get along. We might be passing some indigenous villages, but I really have no idea. It's like a jump into the wild. Which is also why I brought some dry fruits, because you would expect if you go into like the jungle or into nature, there's loads of fruits and natural food, but actually not. Being in the jungle, I've witnessed that in the Amazon. I felt like, okay, if I stay here for 5 hours by myself, I'm dead. Like I couldn't survive. I wouldn't know like what to drink. I wouldn't find anything to eat. So apparently, like the indigenous tribes, they're mainly eating roots because that's what's available. And there's like not apple trees or papaya trees growing like in the middle of the jungle. It's just like a thick and dense vegetation. Actually, when I was in the Amazon for the first time, like nature was like really pressing down. The atmosphere was so dense and the nature was pressing down on me. It felt like really very threatening because I've never been exposed to a raw nature, raw life like that before, and I noticed like the way we are nowadays, the human species, me myself, we've become so weak that we couldn't even like really survive into an untouched spot in nature anymore because our bodies are not made for that, and also we're not capable of simple surviving mechanisms. Anyways, that's also quite interesting maybe, that because it's gonna be rainy we have to keep our stuff dry. So with this I can put into this bag I can put in my clothing. Even on the heavy rainfall it won't get wet. So this is a inlay sleeping bag, kind of. So for example, if I want some, it's all, oh by the way, yeah, this is impregnated. Like all my clothing that I'm wearing on the outside, they're all impregnated with this permethrin, which I mentioned before. So I really have to avoid any danger of any mosquito biting me through the clothes on my skin. I'm gonna use actually DEET, which is also like super strong chemical, and I would normally try to avoid it. I never used it in India, never used it in Colombia, but this is a bit more serious, I guess. So yeah, I'm really taking care that I pass through this whole experience, having a nice experience and not getting some problems along the way. So this I will use as an inlay for my sleeping bag, a protection against insects, and also if I maybe end up staying at a simple village place and sleep on the ground and have a blanket, I will also use this as a kind of protection against small insects, but also against dirt and so on. Yes, and I think this is almost it. You might have noticed my black rubber ball. Wherever I'm going, I'm not leaving without this magical piece of equipment anymore. I mean, we're gonna be hiking a lot, so this will definitely help to correct anything that goes off in the body. And you might have wondered about what this magical item is. Actually, my traveling mate recommended it to me. So what she said is this is like the best tool to sleep on long journeys, so you can use it like this. Or you can use it as a cushion, but I really have to experiment a bit. But yes, I'm curious to see. Normally, anyways, I can sleep very well during flights. Like if I have a 10-hour flight, 8 hours I'm sleeping, but with 30 hours I thought, let's get a little bit more comfortable than usually. So that's about it. I'm gonna be off for the next 3-4 weeks. You might have noticed there's still a yoga class happening in Munich, and Fabian, my partner, is conducting it. Also the Puja Shuddhi class, so check it out if you're interested, and otherwise I meet you back in May. Oh my god, I'm super excited on a trip, and I hope I can make some photos. I got like some portable batteries for that, so because I don't have any electricity obviously, so let's see how it goes. Oh my god, 24 hours to go. See you in May. Bye guys.